Yo, what's good, everybody? It's your boy Emmanuel back with another episode of Football Insights with Manu. So, um, very interesting, very interesting match day that we had yesterday. I only thought there was one game playing, but then I saw that City also played against Al Hilal, and both of them were huge upsets. The Inter Milan game against Fluminense, Inter ended up losing 2-0 to Fluminense, and the Al Hilal Man City game, Al Hilal came out on top in extra time. They won 4-3 against Man City. So yeah, that is definitely not what I expected. But like I said yesterday, there are no walkover teams in the Club World Cup. And I think some of these teams are actually proving that they're actually good teams, even though they don't play in the top 5 leagues around the world. So yeah, pretty much all I can say is they're proving to us that these European teams are not as good as we think they are. And they're mainly just it's the hype of their league. But one thing I can say about Man City is Man City is going through a rough patch. Obviously losing to Al Hilal, as bad as it seems, I think it's a rebuild period right now for Pep Guardiola and his boys. And yeah, they have a lot to work on. They literally have a lot to work on. Plus, with Rodri back, maybe things might change. But yeah, unfortunately, I didn't watch that game, so there's not much I can say about the City Al Hilal game. The one that I did watch was Fluminense Inter Milan. And yeah, that's so disappointed in the Inter performance. I actually expected way more from Inter. I just want to pull up the stats of the game now. But yeah, Inter actually had a very bad game. Fluminense even dominated the possession at some point in that match. Inter was missing chances. Fluminense in the first half, absolutely amazing. They played so well. They started off well. They started off great. They scored early. And then after that, they didn't just sit back, and expect to be attacked. They kept going forward. It only changed in the second half when they actually decided, nah, let's sit back a bit. Let Inter come to us. And they still played that very well. Because it's not like Inter was actually dominating the game to a point where like Fluminense had to panic. Nah, they didn't even panic a single moment in that match because they felt like they had control. So in that game, Inter had 16 shots, 4 shots on target. Fluminense had 11 shots, 4 shots on target. And yeah, Inter was just not making the most of their opportunities. It only, well, possession stats ended up 69% to Inter, 31% to Fluminense, but the first half it was a completely different story. The first half, Fluminense absolutely dominated the game. Inter only managed to get those possession stats because of the second half. I think Fluminense was just like, you know what, let's just slow the game down a bit. Instead of going on the quick counters, they were holding the ball better. They're just keeping the ball basically in their own half. So yeah, they played very well. They played it very well against Inter because Inter is a team that wants you to press them, and as you press them, they catch you on the counter. They didn't press them as much in the second half. They just held back, and they were like, okay, let's just play ball, pass the ball around. The first goal, it was scored by it was Kano. Kano scored the first goal. Yeah, it was a damn. That was a weird goal because Arias tried to cross the ball in. It deflected off Dimarco, I think, and then the ball literally just floated up in the air, and there were no Inter Milan defenders in the vicinity of the 6-yard box. There was nobody. Kano was alone against the goalkeeper, and he managed to hit it through the goalkeeper's head, through the goalkeeper's legs. And so I was like, it was a weird first goal because it was the first 33 minutes of the game. Usually, like those are the sloppiest minutes of the game. Like the first 15 minutes, everybody is not switched on properly yet. So that's when you need to be the most alert. That's when you need to actually play your best football because it's those small moments that can actually define the whole game. And I feel like from there the game was already defined. Fluminense was absolutely dominating the game from there. So yeah, and the second goal was scored in the 93rd minute. It was scored by Hercules. He made a beautiful run forward and he had a wonderful finish. So yeah, after coming off the bench as well. So yeah, it was a weird one. It was a weird one to say the least. But I'm just happy that these teams are proving to us that they are not actually that their leagues cannot be undermined. They're proving to us that we should actually take their league seriously, and that you shouldn't just expect Inter to win against Fluminense because Inter's the bigger team, or expect City to win against Al Hilal because Al Hilal is a bigger team. They're showing us more and more competitiveness in these leagues. And I'll just want to touch on the City game and Al Hilal game, even though I never watched it. Score ended 4-3 to Al Hilal. Bernardo Silva scored the first goal. After Bernardo Silva scored, Marcus Leonard scored after halftime. And then Malcolm scored. After Malcolm, Haaland scored. And then it went into extra time as 2-2. The only goal that I saw was the Malcolm goal. I just saw a video of the Malcolm goal where Joao Cancelo gave him a beautiful pass and he was clean through on goal. And he made actually a wonderful finish. So yeah, that's the only goal that I saw. And then in extra time, Kalidou Koulibaly scored, and then Phil Foden scored. Oh, I also saw the Phil Foden one. Ryan Cherky with a beautiful assist. Yeah, that's one player that City fans, I'm sure, are very happy about. And yeah, people really need to watch out for that boy because that boy is an amazing talent. So yeah, he made a beautiful ball, beautiful cross in, like just over the head kind of cross for Phil Foden. Phil Foden with a wonderful finish. And then Marcus Leonard finished it off to make it 4-3 in the 112th minute. So yeah, if you look at the stats of the game, obviously, as expected, City would have dominated the game. But on the scoreboard, they didn't manage to dominate because they had 30 shots, 14 on target. I saw Yassine Bono actually made a couple of wonderful saves. I think he deserved to be superior man of the match in that game. Him or Marcus Leonard, one of the two. And yeah, Al Hilal had 17 shots and 6 on target. City had 69% possession. Al Hilal had 31%. City managed a total of 127 passes. 92% of those passes were accurate. That is absolutely ridiculous. But yeah, they had 19 corners. So it just shows how much City actually dominated the game. But they didn't actually manage to win the game overall in the end. So yeah, I am looking forward to today's games. I'm going to make a video breaking down the Real Madrid game. I think I'll also just touch on the Borussia Dortmund game. But yeah, it was wonderful having you guys. I'm just going to leave it at that and just say, wow, absolute madness that is going on in this Club World Cup. And I love it. I love the upsets. I love how all these smaller teams are actually proving to us that they are great teams. They are good teams. And they didn't get into the Club World Cup easily. It's not just any team that manages to get here. So every team that gets here is actually a quality team. That's one thing we have to know. So yeah, guys, that's been your episode of Football Insights with Manny. I hope to catch you guys again on another day. Peace out.
For the streets, yeah, we're running it back with the beat.